Okay, that's all for this project and for this section of the course. Congratulations on your hard work so far. And we're here for a bit of a chat, bit of a hangout so that we can remind you of some of the things that are important and answer some of the questions that our students ask around about this stage of the course and of the projects. The main thing I want to get across here is if you're going through the code and you're new to programming and it's not quite clicking and it doesn't quite make sense and you're thinking, how can I ever remember this? It's really important to go easy on yourself. In the early days, you have to practice and be consistent. Every day you have to keep looking at the same thing, and eventually it does stick in your head and it does embed. And it's perfectly okay at this stage of a course to just be copying what we're saying and what we're doing and not 100% understanding it. But if you find yourself in that spot where you think, I didn't quite 100% understand that, pause the video, take the time, go read up some extra docs and watch some extra videos to get to the point where now I understand how that works and now I understand why that happens. Or even go back and watch that video again in the course and listen to the explanation. Honestly, I have to listen to things 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times before I'm like, that's how it works and how it fits together. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're finding that. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're going through this and you're like, I know this stuff, it's really easy. That's cool as well. That's fine. Stephen smirked just now. He's like, that's me. It's all too easy. No. And so the important thing is to push yourself, do the challenges. And we've made a fun little game, but if you found that easy, then implement some more complex aspects to it or push it further, push yourself further to do more with that. So you can really self-direct in terms of how fast or how slow you go. If everything's a little bit complicated, don't worry, you'll get there. Just keep practicing. If everything's a little bit simple, then, hey, make it a little bit more challenging for yourself.
Like Rick was saying, so much of Unity can be really overwhelming at first, but I actually think we've done a really good way structuring this course in a way that the student can kind of have a strong foundation to build on first, and then we can introduce more intermediate and complex topics over time. One of those things that I'd like to touch on is input. We've handled input in this section or this project in a relatively rudimentary or the old input system sort of way. And in my opinion, it's actually the most simple way to get input into Unity straight off the bat in what seems like a fairly intuitive way. But there's a lot of different ways to do input with inside of Unity. Every single time we go into a new project, we're going to handle input in a slightly more complex way so you can actually learn and grow those sorts of skills.
It's a super good point as well throughout this whole course. We often get people in the Q&A section being like, why did you do it that way? There's a better way to do it. What we're trying to say is, at this stage, we don't want to aim for the absolute best code, most amazing way of doing things because there's a lot of concepts wrapped up in the best code. We're trying to keep the concepts simple. We're trying to make sure that you have a win and that you're going along at a good pace and building, as Stephen's talking about, with a spiral syllabus where I know this bit and I can build on that foundation and build on that foundation and so on. So don't stress if you're looking at the code and you're like, surely there's a better way to do this. There absolutely will be. And sometimes, just to be jerks, we put in some code that's a little bit frustrating so that you get to experience that frustration of surely there's a better way to do it. And then in the next project, we say, here's the better way to do it. And so we're leveling up your skills as we go.
Rick, how many times did I go implement something specifically through code where you actually had to reel me back and you're like, not yet. We actually can't give you everything that we want to give you right away. I love game development and I'm super excited to give you all of these tools, but it's important that we actually intentionally give you, some more beginner ways to handle things first before we just throw what might be the best way to do it.
Yeah, and we also find that if we build a massive project that's spectacular, it can take 250 lectures, and 250 lectures on the very first project, people don't tend to like as much as, okay, we did that, let's get to the next one. So that's why we try to get through a whole bunch of different game projects in this entire course. So great point on that as well, Stephen.
So that's it for now. What a cool first section. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the next section, which is going to be Rocket Boost. Rick will handle you for one more project, and then I've got you. So handle Rick for just one more section, and then you're all mine, and I can't wait to see you there.
Put up with Rick for one more project, all the bad dad jokes. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get jumping into Rocket Boost.
We'll see you there.